Hong Kong, 1958. A rooftop in Kowloon. No lights, no referee, no mercy. The air tastes like rust and sweat, and the particular tension that comes before violence. 12 stories up. Clotheslines cutting geometric patterns across a moonless sky. Pigeons disturbed from sleep. Watching from corrugated metal shelters. An 18-year-old kid stands across from a 40-year-old master. 22 years of difference. 50 pounds of difference. 2 decades of training versus 3 years of formal Wing Chun instruction. The master speaks. Your Wing Chun is child's play. Bruce Lee says nothing, just adjusts his stance. Weight on the back leg, hands loose, eyes calm. 12 seconds later, the master is on the concrete, blood from his nose pooling in the cracks between tiles, trying to remember how to breathe. This wasn't the first fight that night. It wouldn't be the last. This is the story of 7 masters, 7 styles, and the night Bruce Lee stopped believing in tradition. Hong Kong rooftops in the 50s weren't places. They were battlegrounds. The British colonial police banned public fighting. Martial arts schools operated under constant surveillance. Proving your style meant risking arrest. So fighters went up. 14 floors, 16 floors, 20 stories, where laws couldn't reach and witnesses couldn't testify. The rooftop circuit had rules without being official. No weapons, no biting. Fight until someone quits or can't continue. Word of mouth only. No advertisements, no announcements. You knew someone who could get you invited. Bruce was hungry for these fights, needed them. His Wing Chun training under Ip Man was solid, but theoretical. He'd learned forms, practiced chi sao, drilled techniques on compliant partners. But he'd never tested anything against someone who genuinely wanted to hurt him. His classmates at St. Francis Xavier's College thought he was crazy. Rich kid from a film family risking everything on illegal rooftops. But Bruce saw what they didn't. Traditional training was comfortable, safe, predictable, and therefore incomplete. He needed chaos, needed resistance, needed to know if what he'd learned was real or just performance. The rooftops gave him answers, brutal ones. Fight 1. The Choi Lee Foot Specialist. Built like a truck. Hands conditioned from years of iron palm training. Throws a wide hook designed to take Bruce's head off. Telegraphs it from 3 feet away. Shoulder rises first. Hip commits early. Bruce sees it coming before the man's fist moves. Sidestep. Straight punch to the solar plexus. 8 seconds. The man drops to his knees, wheezing. Someone helps him off the roof. Fight 2. The Hung Gar Champion. Low stances. Deep horse stance that's supposed to be unbreakable. Throws power shots from grounded positions. Strong. Technical. Everything his training taught him. Bruce doesn't try to match power. Circles. Light on his feet. Mobile. Throws 3 jabs to the man's face while staying out of punching range. The champion lunges forward trying to close distance. Bruce's front kick catches him in the chest mid-lunge. 15 seconds. The man sits down hard. Waves his hand. Done. Fight 3. The White Crane Stylist. Fluid. Graceful. High kicks and hand techniques that look beautiful in demonstration. Bruce respects the artistry. But respect doesn't win fights. The stylist throws a spinning back kick. Impressive. Cinematic. Completely impractical. Bruce steps inside the rotation. Elbow to the ribs, hook to the jaw. 10 seconds. Fight 4. The Northern Mantis Fighter. Trapping specialist. Tries to control Bruce's hands. Get inside Wing Chun's comfort zone. Make it a grappling match. Smart strategy. Wrong opponent. Bruce's hands are faster. His trapping cleaner. Born from Chai Sao drilling but refined by pressure. Traps the man's lead hand. Simultaneous punch to the throat. Not enough to kill. Enough to end it. 7 seconds. Fight 5. The Tai Chi master, old, maybe 60, soft hands, claims internal power trumps external speed. Bruce has heard this before, doesn't believe it. The master tries to redirect Bruce's force, use his energy against him. Beautiful philosophy, fails against actual violence. Bruce feints high, goes low, sweep to the supporting leg. The master falls. 12 seconds. Fight 6. The Chin Na expert. Joint locks, pressure points. Claims he can paralyze with a touch. Bruce has studied the same techniques. Knows the theory. Knows something else too. Speed defeats setup. If you can't catch the limb, you can't lock it. The expert reaches. Bruce isn't there. Backfist to the temple. 9 seconds. Fight 7. The Wing Chun master. This one matters. This one knows Bruce's style. Trained under a different lineage. Older. More experienced. Traditional. Pure. Everything Bruce's modified approach supposedly corrupts. Your Wing Chun is child's play, the master says. You dishonor Ip Man. Bruce bows. Respectful, then settles into his stance. The master attacks. Classic Wing Chun chain punches. Fast. Technically perfect. Everything the textbook teaches. Bruce doesn't counter with more Wing Chun. Uses a boxing slip. Outside angle his training never covered. Throws a hook, forbidden in traditional Wing Chun, to the man's temple. The master's knees give out. Sits down hard. Blood from his nose. Confusion in his eyes. 12 seconds. Bruce stands over him. Not celebrating. Not gloating. Thinking. Seeing something that changes everything. The master looks up. How? Bruce doesn't answer. Can't yet. Because he's just realized what he's been doing wrong his entire training life. Traditional forms are cages. Beautiful, ornate, historically significant cages. But cages nonetheless. Bruce walks to the edge of the rooftop. Hong Kong sprawled below. Neon lights reflecting off harbor water. A million lives unaware of what just happened 14 floors up. 7 masters, 7 different styles, 7 beliefs that their tradition held the answers, all defeated by someone willing to break the rules. This is the moment Jeet Kune Do begins. Not on paper, not in philosophy books. Here, on a concrete rooftop, stained with other people's blood and his own doubt. He realizes the fundamental flaw in traditional martial arts. They teach you to move a certain way, because that's how it's always been done, because the founder said so, because the lineage demands it. But violence doesn't respect lineage. Combat doesn't care about your form. What works, works. What doesn't work gets you hurt. The Wing Chun master who just fell? Perfect technique. Flawless execution of everything his training taught him. Still lost because he couldn't adapt. Couldn't see past his own tradition to recognize the threat coming from an unexpected angle. Bruce decides something that night. Something that will eventually get him expelled from traditional schools. Blacklisted by purist masters. Criticized for decades. He decides to stop learning martial arts and start learning how to fight. There's a difference. A crucial one. 70 years later, we're still talking about that night. Still debating what it meant. Still watching Bruce Lee films and wondering how someone so small could seem so unstoppable. The answer was written in blood on Hong Kong rooftops. In the 12 seconds it took to defeat tradition. In the moment, a teenager realized that respect for the past shouldn't prevent evolution toward the future. If you were on that rooftop, which would you choose? The comfort of tradition or the risk of innovation? Drop your answer below and subscribe for the untold stories that shaped the legend.